Hello, Ma.
Hi, Bhumija Papa. Today again we are back with the story time.
But Akka is not here.
Yeah, she's not there because she has exam and she is studying for that. So today I'll tell story only to you. What story you want?
Can you tell a part of Sundarakanda, please, Amma?
Okay, Bhumija. Let me start it now. Desirous of reaching Lanka in order to discover Sita, Hanuman takes a leap from Mount Mahendra and honoring with the touch of his hand Mount Mainaka, which rose from the bottom of the sea, to provide rest on its peak to Hanuman. There he encounters Surasa, who is mother of Nagas, sent by gods in the form of an ogress, who was waiting for Hanuman with her mouth open to devour him. He enters her mouth in a minute form and comes out without killing her. Further, he is met by another ogress, Simhika, standing with her mouth wide open to gulp Hanuman. He enters her mouth after again assuming a minute form and comes out after splitting her belly open and killing her. While Hanuman was making his way into Lanka at night, the mighty ogress Lankini, presiding over the city, stops him, strikes him with her palm or hand. But after being overpowered by Hanuman, she allows him to enter, repeating the words of Brahma that the destruction of Lanka should be concluded as imminent when she was empowered by a monkey. Entering Lanka, Hanuman hears a music of various instruments being played upon inside. Hanuman finds his way into Ravana's palace after looking for Sita in vain in the mansions of Prahasta and others. Prahasta is the son of Ravana. Ravana's palace was indeed an adornment to Lanka. Valmiki incidentally draws a pen picture of Ravana's palace and his aerial car or chariot by name Pushpaka.
Pushpaka Vimana.
The palace was constructed by Maya, the architect of demons. It was flawless, held in great respect even by gods, and it was acquired by Ravana from Kubera, his brother, by virtue of might. It is superior on earth's surface in point of all excellences. It was like heaven fallen on earth and blazing with splendor, which was full of precious stones and with flowers of various trees. The Pushpakam Vimana was made by Vishwakarma, the architect of gods.
But Vishwakarma is the architect of God, right? Gods, right? You told just now.
Yeah, he takes the Pushpaka Vimana, this Ravana. He is very bad, right? He has seized it from the owner of Pushpaka Vimana. The aerial car Pushpaka was decked with numerous precious stones. A ground was provided to board the aerial car and it was filled with rows of hills made of gems, gold, etc. And the Pushpaka was covered with clusters of trees, clothed with bunches of flowers. White mansions, palaces were erected in it, and likewise pools, lotuses, charming groves, and lakes had been constructed. It was capable of traveling long distances and shining brightly with the rays of precious stones.
Even a pool in a Ratha chariot?
Yeah, that was the speciality. It was not like an ordinary chariot. Birds of cat's eye gems fashioned of silver, corals, lovely serpents made up of jewels, and also horses of beautiful limbs had been made. In a lotus pool within Pushpaka, artificial elephants worshipping goddess Lakshmi with lotus petals held in their trunks could be seen. Hanuman was thus filled with wonder on visiting that splendid and beautiful aerial car. Every part of it was executed with special effort, and there is no part of it which was not inlaid with precious stones of great value. The specialities which were incorporated into it were not to be found even in the abodes of gods. It was constructed according to specific models and special appropriate materials collected from various places. It moved swiftly and was directed by its master. Though, and there was one more very special thing about Pushpaka Vimana. It used to expand and contract depending on the people who were seated in it.
The space would be more or less for the
It
people.
would be correct for the people who enter into it. So there will be no rush or crush. It used to expand and contract according to the people who enter into it. That was the most special feature. Though Hanuman was wonderstruck by the excellence of the aerial car, his heart was filled with deep grief.
What is the meaning of grief?
Bejaru, sadness. Okay, why? Why was he sad?
Because he didn't get Sita anywhere.
He becomes deeply immersed in the quagmire of despair after failing to find Sita in the picture gallery and other places. Hanuman now concludes Sita to have been killed. Believing the matter, if reported to Rama, may lead to disastrous consequences, he decides not to return to the mainland. He also thinks of fasting till death, or suicide, or killing Ravana. Then he catches sight of a grove which he does not remember to have seen and proceeds to explore it by mentally invoking the succor of rishis and gods for success. Casting his eyes all around while remaining perched on the top of Shimshapa tree, Hanuman catches sight of Sita in a mantapa and recognizes her by virtue of characteristics and age. That night, Ravana approaches Sita, seeking to seduce Sita by means of coaxing words. Ravana implores her to accept him, placing a blade of grass, means darbha. You have seen it with Tata,
Tata
right?
will use.
Between herself and Ravana in order to avoid direct contact with a man of evil intentions. She also advises Ravana to make friends with Sri Rama through self-surrender. Angered by this act of Sita, Ravana allows her a time limit of 2 months to revise her decision and threatens her to death if she does not listen to reason. But Sita condemns him once more. Ravana thereupon leaves the place along with his womenfolk. Trijata, one of the ogresses, rises from sleep and speaks to her companions, intimidating Sita of a dream she saw only a few minutes before revealing the triumph of Rama. And the triumph means victory.
What's the meaning of reveal?
Means to show. And the awkwardness of Ravana and stops them molesting sweet Sita. Transported with joy to hear the story commencing from the birth of Sri Rama and ending with Hanuman's espying Sita, narrated in a human tongue, Sita will be like from somewhere sound is coming about Sri Rama's birth and all. Who is singing it in a human tongue? She'll be thinking. Hanuman perched on the Shimshapa tree and Sita casting her eyes all around catches sight of Hanuman sitting on the bough of the Shimshapa tree. Initially, she imagines Hanuman to have seen in a dream, but later comes to know that it is true. Keen to hear of Sita's identity from her own lips, even though he had identified her, Hanuman inquires if she was a goddess and disclose her identity in case she was Sita Mata. Initially, Sita also doesn't believe what Hanuman says and assumes he might be Ravana disguised as a monkey. But after narrating to her about Rama's life since the birth till coming over there to know about the whereabouts of Sita, she believes him. In addition, he also tells her his own life story. In addition to this, he delivers Sri Rama's signet ring to Sita in order to strengthen her confidence in him. According to Hanuman, for a token, asked by Hanuman, for a token, Sita narrates the entire episode of a crow which occurred on the Chitrakuta mountain and asks Hanuman to repeat the story to Sri Rama as a token. And at last of all, she hands over him her jewel for the head, Chudamani, as a token to give it to Rama. After taking the Chudamani, Hanuman puts fire to Lanka and then passes over the sea and reaches Rama and hands over the Chudamani to him. And on seeing the Chudamani, Rama is so overjoyed that Sita, by knowing the whereabouts of Sita and Hanuman returning back, and they prepare to do war against Ravana to get back Sita. So, with this, I am ending our story time today. Let us sing the Mangalam.
Mangalam
Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdhaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.